Hey guys, this is the New to Books channel. It's had a pretty good holiday season. It's been a little hectic for me, so I haven't been able to do any reviews. I've been kind of swapped over to my art a lot lately. Been doing a lot of art projects for friends and family for the Christmas season, giving them out as presents. So we got a book review to do. Today we're going to be reviewing Superstition by David Abrose. Superstition was written in 1997. It's about roughly 384 pages. It's a kind of a thriller, scary, ghost story type of book. Very interesting. I really like the premise of it, the plot of it. Kind of a weak ending, but you know, as books go, there are a lot of books with weak endings, so I don't really let that affect my overall enjoyment of the reading process of the book. So basically, Superstition is based on an actual experiment done in Toronto, Canada in the 70s. And the experiment, if you know, is called the Philip experiment. Now, the Philip experiment was where a group of parapsychologists came together with a theory that ghosts and the supernatural or the paranormal was not just, you know, people that have not passed on yet, or you know, spirits that are lingering here with unfinished business. All of that, everything to do with the paranormal is basically in your mind. You can create it with your mind, and your power of your mind can make it so, and bring it into the realm of being. So this group in the 70s in Canada did the Philip experiment, and they were actually able to they created a history for them and everything, and they are actually able to have a seance and conjure up this Philip ghost, and they were able to ask it questions and it responded the way it should. And you know, there was some controversy about it, whether or not if there's their subconscious mind wanting, you know, really yearning to make it real, so they found things to make it real, or if it was some other entity trying to trick them to thinking it was Philip, or if it was Philip at all. So this book, Superstition, very closely follows that premise. In fact, in the first page or so, there's a little disclaimer talking about how this is inspired greatly by that experiment, and how anybody that's interested in parapsychology should review that experiment. So the story goes like this. You have a psychologist by the name of Sam Town and a skeptical reporter by the name of Joanna Cross. Now Sam Town decides to make an experiment trying to determine whether or not if he can create a ghost using the human mind. So he invites this reporter, Joanna Cross, who's recently just done a couple TV circuits for exposing frauds in the seance world. And he feels that she'll be a good candidate for a volunteer because she has a basis or a bias towards everything. Herself, along with 7 other volunteers, join every so many days or every once a week or so to determine how they're going to do the story for their ghost. They give it a background, a history, anything they can do to make it believable, because to them, to conjure a ghost in your mind, it has to have a believable backstory. You have to believe yourself that it exists. The issue with that is, once you believe it exists, and it does exist, it's very hard to make it not exist. Once it has a grip on you and a grip in reality, how do you make something just not exist anymore? And that's one of the issues that rises in the story. Once their ghost becomes real, it does not want to leave, and it starts doing things along you know, evil lines, or along ways of hurting people to try to stay existing. And you know, toward the end of the book, some of the storyline starts getting really interesting on how things are going to happen, and kind of branches off in a couple different ways. It's really interesting, and I really like that. The problem with it being that the ending was kind of an odd way to end the book. It's kind of I wish there was much more the author could have done with the ending than what he did, and I wish he could have maybe gone into a little bit more detail there at the end. But you know, for our overall read, it was really enjoyable. Really liked it, and let me read my notes. I picked the book up just because of I thought it would be an interesting read, and what I got from it was kind of like the wolf in sheep's clothing effect. Where I thought it was going to be a very specific, straightforward type of read, it turned out to be much more enjoyable, much more thought-provoking on aspects of life and afterlife, and the processes that the human brain goes through when thinking and creating and stuff like that. So much more deep and in depth than I thought it was going to be, but overall enjoyable. If you like the parapsychology world, it's less of a ghost hunting book, more of a psychological book, more of a psychological profile than anything else, as far as the people go and how things happen. There are a couple extra stories, extra plot lines than the main one that does justice in this book as well. So those are fun to think about as you're trying to go through the book to see how it goes. So I hope you get any information that you can out of this. Hope it makes you want to get out there and read some books. And I'll be talking to y'all later. Bye.